Another CNR Overpromised. It's Friday. Let's go.
Let's go Friday. Overpromised. Brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. The idea is we overpromise on our Fox Sports radio show because this guy talks so damn much. I'm Steve Covino. That is Rich Davis. Spot is here. Thank you guys for hanging out.
What's up?
Excited for this weekend and excited to talk about NFL coaches and what they'd be doing if they weren't coaches.
This is going to be fun.
Yes.
Also, I got some great NFL picks this weekend. It's tricky because shitty teams are playing shitty teams.
Yes.
And the really good teams are playing the really good teams. So this week's a little tricky. So we'll go over some parlays and some teaser bets. But to quote every athlete the last couple of years, let's effing go.
LFG. Now, this past weekend, we saw a big fight, a spectacle in Saudi Arabia. And it's as simple as this. Fury won. He won.
You so
fair
badly,
and square.
You so badly want like a Saudi king to just love you.
Oh, I can't wait.
I need Covino. Pay him millions.
And we broadcast live from his birthday party or something like that. At Chuck E. Cheese. That'd be fantastic. Anyway, Fury won. All the big stars were there. Yeah. He won. But Ngannou won the moral victory. We know he fought better than anyone expected. And as Fury said, that wasn't in the script. It went the distance. It was close. Ngannou got the knockdown. Now, before this fight, he was scheduled to fight Usyk in that unification heavyweight bout, right? But because he took such a beating, because Fury took so many punches, the fight that was supposed to happen in December, the breaking news is it's not happening in December.
Oh, come on.
Because he needs time to recover, and he wasn't expecting that Ngannou fight to be as competitive as it was.
Would you compare the Ngannou fight to one Rocky Balboa? Would you say that he went the distance and arguably won, but you got to convincingly beat the champion, which is why, Tyson Fury on CompuBox outboxed him. I know it's last weekend, but I'm still thinking about it because no one thought Tyson Fury was going to even struggle.
Hey, I would have been okay with the draw, but I did have it 95, 94. I'm no official scorekeeper.
I did a little DraftKings knockout in the first 4 rounds for Tyson Fury because I thought Tyson Fury was a little warm-up for the Usyk fight.
Well, he was better than anyone thought. Yeah. Again, I had it 6 rounds to 4. I don't think it was a robbery, but it was a really close fight. But because it was such a close fight, Fury's like, you know what? This fight that was supposed to happen, we're going to have to push it back. There's an update. The update is it's not going to happen in December, but it is going to happen in February now. So we're going to get that unification bout with Usyk.
Oh, sweet. Valentine's Day?
I can't wait.
Oh, sweet. We'll go. Awesome.
I can't wait. Well, again, and this is a 2-fight deal. So if Fury wins, Usyk gets the rematch and vice versa. So it's going to be a big one. It's going to be a good one.
Well, Usyk was ringside. He looked ready to go. Tyson Fury, he looked, as they kept calling him on the broadcast, like a bag of milk. And I know he's not known to be a ripped guy, but I think Tyson Fury needs to take this fight maybe a little more serious than we think.
Oh, he's going to have to now. But he has until February now to get in shape. And you said Usyk was ringside against Ngannou. He was. And he looked nervous because if Fury lost, then that fight's in jeopardy,
that's
right?
His money.
Right, and that's a big money deal. Now, there was another side story, an adjacent story, in an interview recently leading up to the Ngannou fight. You know, Fury's everywhere doing interviews. He said that he'd never pursue a career in the WWE because it's just too hard.
What you gonna do, brother?
It's just too hard.
It is, man.
He said he'd rather dodge punches than put his body through the wear and tear of the WWE. And that's where we debate right here. Now, I got to start this off by saying, of course, I acknowledge the athleticism.
Of course.
The physicality.
You'd be a fool not to.
Involved in professional wrestling, man. And to see what they put their bodies through. And we've seen it with our heroes. Yeah. You know, there's not many of them alive because they put their bodies through so much. So I'm not trying to undermine at all what wrestlers do. I think it's fascinating. It's amazing. It's competitive and impressive. Like I said, athletic. and you need to be able to entertain. There's so many factors, and that's why Tyson Fury, you would think, might be good at this. But I don't think he has the body makeup for it, as you described before. However, I'm here to say that there's a reason that Logan Paul chooses wrestling over boxing.
Glad you said that, because Logan Paul, I believe, has boxed and never really got injured. Guy tore up his leg and knee and everything. Doing what, Covino?
Wrestling.
I rest my case. I mean, when you think about what is a bigger strain on the body, of course, one is, quote, real, one's fake. They're both performing. They're both athleticism on display. Listen, I agree with what Tyson Fury said. Just because you're a boxer, it's rare that a guy like Brock Lesnar could have succeeded in both. That's a rare feat. Think about it. Even Ronda Rousey got into the WWE world and just wasn't.
Rare feet would be LeBron James's feet.
With the toes going over.
Or Kevin Durant. Have you seen Kevin Durant's boats? He's got canoe feet, this guy.
That's rare feet.
Those are rare feats. Look, again, I would say there's a reason Logan Paul chooses wrestling, because he needs to be elite to compete with real boxers.
Those are rare feet.
Are those Durant's? Are those? Oh, he's got boats, that guy.
Does he have to sew 3 pair of socks together?
I don't know how, man. I don't know how he stands on those things. They're so long and skinny. Look at those. Those are feet. I've seen other pictures, believe it or not, Spotty. They're out of control. Now, do you hear what I'm saying, though? I think you're looking at this guy's feet. He would have to be an elite fighter to really compete with someone who's currently boxing, who's a top 10 contender.
Okay.
You know, for a real chance at a belt. They're not at that level. So be real about it. You think that any of these dudes want to take punches from a Canelo? Give me a break.
I think,
Jake Paul may be dumb enough.
I think that if you said, what do you rather do, Rich Davis? Do you rather take a punch from Canelo? Or do I rather take a flip off the top rope and land on a table? I'd rather get punched by Canelo Alvarez.
Really? Okay. Well, there's also other heavyweights.
Yes.
Oh, really? What about Mike Tyson and former guys like that? Deontay Wilder, some of the strongest punchers in the game.
Mike Tyson has headlined a WrestleMania, and you could tell that even though it was Mike Tyson, he couldn't bring to the wrestling ring the fun and excitement that Mike Tyson brought to the boxing ring.
I'm not saying he could. I'm saying you have to realize that there's levels to this. One is entertainment. No one's going to want to put themselves at risk in an actual boxing match. It's more difficult. There's something elite about it.
Of course,
it's at an Olympic level.
There's a reason
of competition.
There's a reason why the elite of the elite in boxing make tens of millions of dollars per fight, and wrestlers have to be the top guy to make even a fraction of that.
You could be Barry Horowitz, okay?
Patting myself on the back 80s style.
And be a professional wrestler. Do you see the difference? Although I understand what Tyson Fury's saying, and he's given a lot of props to what these guys actually do, and I'm not trying to take away from that, I don't necessarily believe what he's saying.
Okay, so
maybe in a way he's complimenting his own defensive skills in boxing. He'd rather dodge punches in boxing than put his body through that in wrestling. I don't think most people would.
So 2 takeaways from this conversation. Tonight, when you're having drinks with your friends or wifey, having a glass of wine, ask the question, would you rather take a punch from a professional boxer, get in the ring, or would you rather jump off the top turnbuckle onto a table? What would you rather do? And the other takeaway is, we got a fight in February.
Yeah,
we got something to look forward to in the month of February. Besides the Super Bowl, besides Valentine's Day, you're going to have Usyk, Tyson Fury. I can't wait. That's freaking awesome.
Do you think we could put a request into Fox Sports, maybe to send this out to Saudi Arabia or something like that? Cover the fight.
Do you really want to go there?
Why not? Yeah.
I don't know, man.
It'd be fun.
Nerve-wracking. All right, well, you know what it's time for? It's time for our football picks, courtesy of our good friends at DraftKings Sportsbook. Now, I think we should start with a teaser. I love the teaser bets. I love the parlays. I get it. Some people are like, Rich, what's with your sucker bets? I call you a sucker. So I love the NFC because I'm a Niners fan.
Then why don't you marry it?
But we're going to go AFC for my teaser bet. The AFC North is stacked. It's like Jack Stacks. It's full of teams that all could very well make the playoffs. You got the Cleveland Browns, Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens, and, oh, yeah, the Cincinnati Bengals, who look hotter than any team in that division right now, if you ask me.
Especially when they wear their white jerseys.
Oh, dude, they're fire.
Take them on a date or something.
So right now, all these teams are winning. Cleveland is playing the Arizona Cardinals. Now, for the life of me, again, this is one of those every week I'm like, I can't see this team beating this team. And the NFL's screwy. It F's with me every week. But right now, Cleveland's 8-point favorites over Arizona. Take that from an 8 down to a 2. And the Cleveland Browns, who are competing against the elite of the AFC in that great division, against Arizona, who's just sort of floating by. I don't know, dude. I'm feeling Cleveland -2, win by a field goal. The 8 points is a lot because the NFL, again, is screwy this year. But if you don't tell me, if you could look me in the eyes and say, no, dude, I think the Browns are going to struggle with the Cardinals.
I feel weird looking in your eyes anyway. I try not to.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Don't look at my eyes.
You got those crazy eyes.
Look at my eyes, man. Plus the game's in the dog pound in Cleveland. So Arizona going to the dog pound, Arsenio Hall style. So Cleveland -2. And this is sort of I want them to lose pick. The Baltimore Ravens are playing the Seattle Seahawks. Obviously, as women say, obviously, as a Niners fan.
As women and you, apparently.
As a 49ers fan, I don't want the Seahawks to keep winning. I want them to struggle. So Seattle's going cross country to play in Baltimore. Baltimore's good home field advantage. So I like the Ravens. They're 6-point favorites at home against Seattle. I think it's a game Seattle wins. I think Seattle looks at their schedule and says, if we're going to drop a game at Baltimore is one of those games you drop. So I like the Ravens winning, and it's a pick 'em because you take it from 6 to a pick 'em. So Ravens just winning at home, and the Browns beating the Cardinals by 2 at home. Again, this is one of those teasers that when looking at it now, it looks so good, doesn't it?
I like it. It does.
Come on. Ravens in a pick 'em, Browns by 2? Come on. Now, I was telling you, the problem with this week, and all our friends at DraftKings would probably agree, great teams are playing great teams, and the bottom feeders are playing the bottom feeders. So it's tricky to figure out my 3-team parlay, but I came up with something. I took a couple risks, but I like it. I like it. Number one, I like the Vikings. I know you're saying, really? Without Kirk Cousins? That's, as my daughter would say, that's interesting. But do you think the Vikings, even without Cousins, don't you feel like they got a little something going on?
Yeah, no, they're playing solid. I mean, they carried on with Adam last week, so
I like the Minnesota Vikings at Atlanta. I am not sold on Atlanta even a little bit. I know we talk about fugazi teams every year like they're fake. The Falcons are they're 4-4. They're a 500 team. I don't believe in them. So
and a lot of their games are close, coming down to field goals.
Yeah. So Falcons, dude, I'm feeling the Vikings getting more than 4. So I like the Vikings as an underdog in Atlanta, getting points. So your Vikings getting points, because I think the Vikings are still feeling now, hey, we're 4-4 too. We lost Cousins, but you know what? We got a shot.
Maybe they rally around that. Who knows?
All right, so I like the Vikings as an underdog against what I think is sort of like a bunk Falcons team. I like the Cowboys against the Eagles. I know it's in Philly, but Philadelphia is due for a letdown. I know it's in Philadelphia, but it's 3.5. That half a point is what gets my dingle tingling. The half a point. Cowboys plus 3.5. They've been playing well, and I think it wouldn't surprise anyone if, oh, wow, Cowboys played a close one or maybe even beat the Eagles. So I like the Cowboys plus 3.5. That half a point could be all the difference. And believe it or not, you might say, really? Rich, you do? I like the Raiders with all the switch-ups. McDaniel, out. Josh McDaniels is out. Jimmy G benched. They're playing Aiden O'Connell, and they're playing the Giants, who, if there's not a team more demoralized after losing to the Jets last week.
That was miserable.
That team is shit right now.
Yeah, you know what? At first, I was like, yeah. And now, you're right.
So
you're right about that.
I like this 3-team parlay. You may say, really, Rich? So I like the Raiders given 1.5. So the Raiders just really need to beat the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
The Cowboys getting 3.5 against the Eagles, and the Vikings getting 4.5 in Atlanta.
Oh, it makes the dingle tingle.
So there you go. Lock them in. Your parlay, your teaser, courtesy of our good friends at DraftKings Sportsbook. Lock them in.
Who are the pretenders and who are the contenders?
Oh, we're
more than
finding out.
halfway through the NFL season, but DraftKings Sportsbook is still pumping out unbeatable offers every single game. New customers can bet just $5 on anything to get $200 instantly in bonus bets.
And DraftKings isn't stopping there. All customers can take advantage of a sweet offer every game day. Here's what you got to do. Get in on the action. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Download the app and use our code Overpromised. Remember, Overpromised at DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers can bet $5 on any game and get that $200 in instant bonus bets only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code Overpromised. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, licensee partner Golden Nugget, Lake Charles, and Louisiana. 21 plus age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms for eligibility terms and responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply.
Now, I told you I look at your face for reactions.
Yeah.
Sort of like the old lady who would give Adam Sandler meatballs in Wedding Singer. Oh. I want to watch you eat them. When I do my picks, I watch your face to like, oh, I don't like that one. Or like, I feel like of my two DraftKings bets this week, Spot, if you want to throw them up again, I feel like you like that teaser bet more. I think you like that Ravens beating the Seahawks at home and the Browns beating Arizona.
Let's all look at Covino.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now, the part of the...
You ever see that meme of that kid? He's like...
Yeah. And then when I told you the parlay, you were like, okay. Like, I feel like you okay.
No, hey.
Okay.
The crown is yours.
Hey, the crown is yours. Oh, wait, Covino, look at that parlay. You're like Kevin James.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome back to Overpromised, brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. I'm Steve Covino. That is Rich Davis. And think about the NFL coaches. Think about them.
Are you worried about Josh McDaniels? Or what do you think about?
Just think about him.
Now, there is a viral meme going around that is a 4-page meme. I love this. We've been talking about this for a couple days. We wanted to wait for Overpromised to do this because of the visual layer. Since we got the Fox Sports Radio YouTube page, so you can see everything we're doing if you want to watch the show. This is fantastic. It's what NFL coaches would be doing if they weren't coaching. And some of these are so freaking good. I was laughing my ass off reading every single one of them.
Some of them are funny. Some of them are dead on. Some I don't even get. But it's definitely worth the watch, worth the look-see.
So if you want to start, I'll hand it over to you. Who do you want to start with? Which one do you love?
I want to start with Mike McDaniel. You could read it for me, Rich, and I'll tell you what I think.
Is it because you don't have your readers?
Oh, I got my readers.
Okay,
but it's all good.
VP of Product Development at Crypto.com. Mike McDaniel does look like a dude that would work for like a crypto company.
Absolutely.
I'm Mike McDaniel.
And I do have my readers, but I think that Mike McDaniel looks like some sort of weenie guitar player for Weezer or something like that. He should be playing guitar,
a Weezer cover band,
in a Weezer cover band, or
say it ain't so.
Flight of the Conchords or something like that. I think that's what I see when I see Mike McDaniel.
Now on that first slide Spot, I love Robert Saleh. I mean, to me, kickboxing instructor. This is the best part. That is totally just friends with your wife. He looks like the personal trainer that's banging your wife.
Yes.
Absolutely. Honey, don't worry about Robert. He's just my trainer. Meanwhile, he's slamming her in the back locker room.
Jeez Louise.
Whoa, what?
But I see him as
Rich.
He could be a body double in the next Mummy movie as Emotep. I think he's a stunt double Emotep. That's what I see every time I see the guy. But I do love how he coaches, and he's a handsome dude. Keep him away from your wife.
You like the Andy Reid?
Let's go to Andy Reid.
Driving instructor. Forklift certified.
Now, to me, this one was so obvious. He should be the spokesman for diabetes. This guy should be working for Liberty. He should be doing... Am I wrong, Spot, or what?
No, that's pretty good.
That's what I see. I see Wilford Brimley. I feel like that's what he should be doing, because it's just, oh, yeah, that works.
And if you're just listening, play along and go to the Fox Sports Radio YouTube page, because we're streaming this live video also, and you can see what we're talking about. It's what coaches would be if they weren't coaches. Spot, hit me with the second slide, homie, because there's some of these that are like, yo, how could it be more dead on? Like, for instance, Brian Dable, Waffle House cook.
I mean, that is so perfect.
No, my favorite is Mike McCarthy, all the way on the right. Balloon animal guy at a kid's birthday party, divorced twice.
Why do you got to do him like that?
That's the best. I thought you liked Tugboat Ron Rivera. That's what I thought.
Ron Rivera? He does look like an 8th grade algebra teacher.
It really does. It looks like the guy at your high school or your high school gym teacher or something like that. It really does there. Let's go to the next slide. Oh, these are some good ones, man. Some really, really good ones.
The Ike Sean McVay, male nurse who talks way too much about CrossFit.
Definitely.
I mean, dead on. That one is dead on. Dead on. Some guy definitely talking fitness. Or one of those instructors on your exercise bike that you have, Rich.
Funny. Pete Carroll has appeared in multiple Cialis commercials.
Why do they got to do him like that?
I mean, he's a handsome older guy that seems active. I look at
him and Jimmy Johnson.
I look at Pete Carroll, dude, and my first thought is like, he looks like the fit old guy that's like the scuba instructor at your resort.
No, he looks like a pickleball spokesman. That's what he looks like, right? He's like the instructor or like the hot guy at the pickleball tournament. That's what I think.
Hey, Spot, I don't mind. Do you mind go back to slide 2 for a second? Because I think we went past Dan Campbell too quick. Dan Campbell's a great one. Plant manager for Ford Motors.
Oh,
Doesn't he look like the type of guy that's like business guy, but also very blue collar? Like, I run this plant.
Unbelievable.
I wear a suit once a week for the meeting.
And go back to the first one, too, because where's Kevin Stefanski? I saw him before. Where's he at? Oh, he's not there? Yeah, he's somewhere. I saw him.
You go to the third slide. We'll find Stefanski. He's somewhere there.
Hilarious. But all of these are dead on.
Let's go to the fourth slide.
There's Stefanski, top right.
Bad guy, number 3 in a James Bond movie.
Just like a random henchman.
Bad guy number 3.
Bond movie.
Which is so dead on and perfect, but I see him as like a model on the Just for Men box. I think he's on like dark brown black. You can't see him as like the before and after. He's the before from Just for Men.
What about bottom row, Mike Vrabel, high school PE teacher who hates everyone who doesn't play football?
Oh, perfect.
Yo, that shit's funny.
That guy's definitely.
Why do you come out for the team? Oh, what are you, pussy?
Yeah. Oh my God.
That's Mike Vrabel.
That's absolutely the case. Now, again, you can chime in. You can check this out. We'll tweet it out at Covino and Rich. We want your feedback. In all fairness, people look at us and say, radio host, these guys look like a weak ass Zach and Slater.
Yeah, we look like Zach and Slater if it was like the Saved by the Bell smut edition.
Right.
And we're like the stand-in actors.
Hey. So I get it, in all fairness, but it's funny stuff, man.
All right, well, hey, if you ever miss anything on Overpromised, these live on the Fox Sports Radio YouTube page, and wherever you get your podcast, tell all your friends. There we are, the bootleg Zach and Slater.
And by the way, was that Bill Belichick or the Mama Fratelli stunt double?
Mama Fratelli.
Stop
Good
it.
Goonies reference.
If there was a Goonies reboot, you'd have to hire Bill Belichick, just saying.
That is fantastic. All right, listen, on that note, we will see you guys every day on Fox Sports Radio. I'm back here next week for more Overpromised. Until then, arrivederci, baby.
See you in the Overpromised land.
Have a great weekend.